Shula talked about how we are adopting human rights into the Asian Girl campaign that was initiated by the Garden of Hope in 2012. Actually, we initiated this Asian Girl campaign in response to the International Day of the Girl Child that was established by UN after advocacy by Plan International. So the purpose of International Day of the Girl Child is to acknowledge the discrimination against girls, which is actually the lack of human rights for girls. Yeah, so when we saw what Shula has been doing, for so many years already, and the experience that she has accumulated, we feel that is she's a very, very, very good resource person. Yeah, and so we want to integrate this into all our in the work of the entire campaign, and we want to share Shula's materials with our campaign partners. Okay, so I just want to briefly share about how we have been empowering girls to elevate girl human rights. And let me share a little bit about Garden of Hope so you get an idea why we want to start this Asian Girl campaign. It's the largest women and girls NGO in Taiwan that provides both advocacy and direct service, counseling and shelter services. Angie Goldman, one of the founders of Garden of Hope, she's an American that established a halfway home together with employees and volunteers. And after several years of dealing with girls who have been child prostitutes, they launched a multi-year campaign to reduce child prostitution. The multi-year campaign includes advocacy to change current legislation in Taiwan. So what happened was in 1995, after 3 years of advocacy, Taiwan established the Children Juvenile Sexual Transaction Prevention Act, which is the anti-child prostitution law, and they adopted the Garden of Hope version of Garden of Hope version. So, because we felt that it is important to move from protection to empowerment of girls, we organized since 2003 for teenage girls a Famosa Girl Festival. So these programs for teenage girls from 12 to 18 fight against persisting cultural stereotypes and society structures through a series of events. These include girls' working days, power camps, girl working days where they shadow career women who are successful in different marketplace, rites of initiation, study tours, Famosa Daughter Awards, and we want to reverse prejudice against girls in gender role and to demonstrate a variety of career paths and possibility for girls. As you know, Taiwan is Asian, so most Asian countries are very much patriarchal. So these programs are helpful to help girls, and also the society at large through the media when we talk about these kind of programs through the media. And empowering girls, so when we talk about empowering girls, we don't mean that girls do not have innate power within them, but what we do is we empower them to help unleash their power. So the Asian Girl campaign is to help different campaign partners focus on the different issues in their own countries from the grassroots level and through also advocacy at different levels to deal with all the problems that are facing girls especially. So for example, in developing countries, there are selective sex abortion, infanticide in India, South Asian India, and FGM, child labor, child marriage, sexual abuse and trafficking, which many girls experience. And even in developed countries, the constant pressure to look good and conform to unrealistic ideas damage self-esteem. And so anorexia and bulimia is very common in developed nations, and repeated multiple plastic surgery is also common in developed countries. In 2012, 15 countries and 81 organizations signed up to join the Asian Girl campaign, and an estimated 100,000 people were reached through televised programs, print media, and different kind of girl empowerment activities. And this promote awareness and activism for the investment and empowerment of girls. And in 2012, 20 countries and 120 organizations joined, and we estimate about 200,000 people were reached. And these are the different campaign partners from different countries. So this is in Taiwan, and this is even before Asian Girl campaign. This is how empowered girls look like. So they are calling for the government to establish a Taiwan Girls' Day. So Taiwan's Girl Day will be a focal point for Taiwan to spend more time, effort, and money in the investment and empowerment of girls. So they advocate, and they call for this every year. And we finally got they want in 2013. The government responded by establishing a Taiwan Girls' Day, also on the 11th of October. These are some pictures of girls in the Asian Girl campaign. They have different kind of activities in different countries. Some are workshops, some are talks, some are flash mobs, some are okay. So what we want to do is a butterfly effect, where girls and community transform other societies and communities through the interaction with one another. This is in Pakistan, KPK, where Malala comes from. This is one of our campaign partners who works there. The co-founder, a young 25 lady, before she joined our campaign was shot by extremists. So you know how hard it is to work in human rights field in that area. But they have a staff of 15 people. They still soldier on, even though last year their office was bombed. And this is the activity this year. They held talks, competition quizzes and speeches which talk about the role of girls in peace building. This is in Azerbaijan NGO Alliance for Children's Rights. Apart from co-organizing with the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, and the different government agencies and NGOs, they held a conference on human trafficking and early forced marriage. So these children's rights organization began focusing on girls' issues in this Asian Girl campaign. They also held workshops for girls. And this is in Armenia. This is in Bangladesh. As you know, Bangladesh has a high rate of child marriages, and also dowry, and is also a problem in Bangladesh. So they have a rally and discussion meeting for girls' education. And the girls are dressed in karate shirts because as they learn self-defense, it's also a vehicle for empowerment. Weekend Global is a global movement campaign that focus on women originally, but they also moved to focusing on teenage girls to to share with them stories of role models and the different achievement, and also to help them be change makers themselves. This was in schools, rural area. This is in India. In India, they a youth organization that did not focus on girls in the past. They held their inaugural Girl Star Award for girls to honor their achievements in different areas, including STEM, including sports. And recently, they launched a campaign to study how to make Chandigarh a human rights city for girls and women. This is in Lebanon. And instead of the regular checkpoints, these are girls promoting girl rights at checkpoints. Okay, so now these are just some examples of different activities in different countries. As mentioned, all these different kind of activities help deal with the different issues through the efforts of the local community leaders. They involve actors in all levels, students, and then they help create dialogue on girls' human rights and establish strategies of dealing with girl human rights issues. They give better standing to girl human rights in the local agenda along with other development goals. They create new laws and legislation to improve human rights of girls.
Thank you very much, Lilian, for that presentation. The scarves that you're wearing, the pink scarves that you're wearing around your necks, these are our common symbol of the Asia Girls Human Rights Campaign, and it's the Taiwanese floral pattern. So we send these out to our campaign partners to act as a unified symbol. But of course, equality doesn't mean that we're all the same. We all have to act the same, we're all marked with the same stamp. So they use these scarves in many different ways. And they highlight the issues in their own countries and the issues that matter to them.